welcome. This is the August Twin Flame Tarot reading. I hope you're doing okay, and I know the Twin Flame journey is it can be a real nightmare and really difficult, so I do send you all lots of love. Now, it can be just an emotionally avoidant person in your life, so it doesn't have to be your twin flame. It could be somebody like a family member or a friend. But you know, that's kind of tends to be the twin flame scenario. So yeah, let's go into the reading and see what's been happening for the twin flame and what will be happening in August, really. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for giving the video a thumbs up as well, because it does help the videos get out across YouTube, especially for, you know, a little channel like this. So yeah, let's see what we get. I'm using actually the Lover's Oracle again, because I haven't used that for a while. I'm going to do some videos again, because I sort of stopped doing the Twin Flame Soulmate support sessions, but I'm going to go back to doing that, because sometimes I stop doing those types of things, because to be honest with you, I'm just so busy working on my own journey, and oh god, it's just, you know, I should probably share more really what I'm doing personally with my own journey, because I'm sure it's really quite similar to a lot of you, and you know, it might be of help, and it's just sometimes I've not been in a very good state to share. But I sort of look back now and I think I probably should share a bit more, you know, because I know so many of you can relate to the whole journey and the awakening that you have through it. So, you know, I want you to know you're not alone. So let's go through it. Let's see what we get. Just asking Spirit to show us what will be happening with the twin flame, the emotionally avoidant person in August, please. Oh, look at this. My beloveds, though we may be physically apart, spiritually we are always united, for love transcends space and time and nothing is missing. Isn't that amazing? That is an ultimate twin flame message, really, isn't it? So physically apart, but spiritually united. So even if you're not seeing this person much at the moment, there's something about your energy that, you know, it is united, it is bonded energetically together. And, you know, even if you haven't seen this person for quite some time, I mean, I haven't seen my twin flame now for, well, it's been a year and 6 months probably. So it's been a long time. That's just a rough estimate. It would have been God, it would have been December, not this year, the year before. So, you know, about a year and a half. And but there's still this energy link there, you know. So let's go deeper now. Let's see. Well, actually, let's just see what other energies we've got here for the twin flame. Ooh. Oh wow, look at this journeyman. And I was actually just thinking of my twin flame, because he tends to go travelling a lot. You know, he tends to go travelling a lot. Journeyman. They're on their own little journey, you know, the masculine at the moment. And also, it doesn't have to be a man, but it's just this person's got a very masculine energy. So and they're sort of on their own journey is what tarot is saying. So they're on this journey, their own little journey, and it's kind of mirroring us, because we're on our little journey as well, aren't we? So recent past, you know, we may have felt quite fed up, really, like there hasn't been an awful lot happening, there hasn't been a lot of progress, but the tarot is just saying, you know, just keep doing everything you're doing, because you're actually going to reap the rewards, and in the end you are really going to get what you want, you know. so yeah, the feminine here, not happy. This is the person, whoever's got the more feminine energy, hasn't been very happy with, you know, what's been going on with this relationship, yeah? And so it's been a bit of a time of feeling a bit fed up here, and it's like we've been, you know, we, the people watching this channel, us, we're on a frequency together, yeah, we're soul family, and we've been going on our own little journey. We've been trying to sort of improve our lives and working really hard at our own self-development and trying to understand this whole journey and what it all means, you know. And Spirit is saying, look, you know, we may feel like we're just waiting to hear from our twin flame, or waiting to see what's going to transpire with this relationship, you know, and also to see what's going to develop in our lives as well. It just feels like we've been doing the hard work, and maybe we've been feeling we haven't really been getting the results, but Spirit is showing longer term. We mustn't give up, because longer term we're going to reap all the rewards here. So yeah, that is the Empress reverse. It's, you know, been a bit fed up, and I think we've had to recognise within ourselves, you know, what our own natural needs were, and be like, look, as much as this person in my life, whether they're your twin flame or they're just somebody in your life who's very emotionally difficult to deal with, you know, as much as we care about them, we've had to sort of honour our own journey, because they had left us in this state of complete lack. You know, they took us to our knees, really, and we were prepared to give them everything. Meanwhile, we weren't really giving to ourselves what we needed. So we've been building ourselves back up very nicely. We've been making the right decisions. We are in a more healthy place, but we may just have felt a bit like, you know, disenfranchised, a little bit like, you know, when am I going to get some results? So what's going on here is there is some fear-based energies. I feel like this is on both sides, and what I'm sensing is that both parties, right, both us and them, are feeling trepidation. And it's like whenever we think about each other, it's like, oh God, you know, what is happening with this connection? Because it was left the way it's been left, and we've asserted our boundaries and been like, you know, no, I can't abide this, because this isn't right. The way this relationship was going, they asserted their boundaries as well, and they were like, well, I'm not comfortable with certain things, or they may, this may not have been an actual conversation, but it's been even energetic, where, you know, they sort of pull back, and then we sort of realised actually this is the right thing for us too, because we have to honour our energy as well. And it's like now both parties are sort of like in this dilemma situation where it's like, how's this relationship going to proceed? It's kind of the unknown, and we just don't know how this relationship is going to proceed. Somebody needs to take action, and if you don't take action, or nobody takes action, it's kind of like stalemate, and both parties are just sort of thinking, well, I've got no idea what's going on, right? So it's kind of interesting, because it's like really the unknown of where is this relation, how is this relationship going to move forward? How would it, the bond is still there, the energy is still there, but how on earth would it proceed, right? You know, so yeah, let's see what card goes with this one. Yeah, I mean, definitely feeling neglected. I think we realised actually when we were so busy gripped in the love or the care for this person, we were so busy in that dynamic of trying to please them and help them and do the right thing for them, and we were just completely sort of like neglecting ourselves. And we were neglected by them, because 6 of Wands means getting recognition you deserve. When it's in reversed, it can represent in relationships. I mean, it represents a lack of success, and it also represents being neglected, you know. And that's kind of basically what happened, because, you know, we were basically involved with a twin flame or somebody in our lives who is just emotionally just, you know, not able to give, you know, and it obviously left us very neglected. And we were sort of trying to deal with that at the time, because we kind of thought, well, as much as, you know, I should just walk away from this personal situation, it's not that easy. Like, if it was that easy, let's face it, we would just all do that. And that's why a lot of people don't understand the whole twin flame thing, because it's not, at that time, it's not easy to walk away from that person. And for some of you, if it's not an actual twin flame, but it's like, you know, a family member or a friend, and it's just equally difficult to walk away. But we were so neglected, and now it's hard to take action, because it's like, well, what if that all just repeated again? Like, what if we just started to have a connection again? We start interacting with each other more, and then the same thing's going to happen again, and I could get neglected again. And I think that's the fear on our side. The fear on their side, I think they're fearing lack of success. I think they realised that they had a lack of success with us, the way it all went. And especially once we did pull back and we did start to assert our boundaries more, and because they've got emotional problems, they have a lot of shame. You know, they took that quite personally, which, you know, is a little bit of a joke really, because we're the ones that were taking the brunt the whole way through. But, you know, this person who's emotionally avoidant, the reason why they're emotionally avoidant is because they've got so much shame from their past, from their childhood, you know, and they find it really hard to show their vulnerabilities, don't they? So they always put on this very masculine mask, and I think they know it kind of didn't really go very well in the end. So now it's kind of like, God, how would they approach us? Because they do feel a bit ashamed, the lack of success they had, and it's like they don't know how it will go again if they start to interact with us more. You know, they're afraid of rejection, basically. They are afraid of looking like a failure, you know. So now the person you think about, yeah, I mean, this is interesting, because this is, for me, this is again like a traveling card. You see, like that, two cards pretty much the same. Page of Wands. You know, they're either sort of traveling at the moment, or they are on their own little journey, and they're trying to sort of search for something. But what I think this person's missing the point, and I mean, I know that's a little bit coming from my ego here, so I shouldn't laugh, but because we've all been there. Like, I've been there, when you're just searching and you don't realise the whole time you're searching, what you're searching for is inside yourself. And a lot of the time what you're searching for, you've already got it, you know. But it's the illusion of the ego mind. The illusion of the ego mind always thinks that if we go out there into the matrix, we're going to find something, we're going to find the answer. And it's really what it is, it's a distraction. Because our person, our twin flame, or whoever this person is, like I said, they've got emotional issues that they don't know how to deal with. So the only way they can deal with their emotional issues is to distract themselves. That's what the ego does. The ego mind loves to distract itself with either traveling or being very busy or doing lots of things. Like, they could be a workaholic, they could have loads of crazy hobbies, you know, and they might just be one of those sort of people that just, their diary is just always jam-packed. Whatever it is, there's some kind of distraction technique this person uses, and that's kind of what, you know, that's kind of how they handle life. Because if they're busy, they don't have to feel the emotions that would come up. And we've all been there, because I used to be exactly the same. But I think the people, us, this frequency on this channel, we've been teaching ourselves the last few years or months to, you know, how to reconnect with self and how to actually do less. And actually that's been a really good thing, because you start to notice your own feelings come up and you start to understand certain realizations about yourself. and you realise that a lot of the time the things you were doing to keep yourself busy were just distractions, and you were searching for things to make you happy in the matrix, and they weren't really giving you lasting fulfillment. It was like as soon as you did one thing, you were on to the next thing, and it was just like, you know, and that's what the ego does to us. It's like addictive, you know. And I think that's something that we've all been working on, learning just to be more present, to be more centered, to be more you know, present with spirit, in the present moment, more centered, and to feel things as they come up. But I feel this person, our twin flame, or this emotionally avoidant person, is still stuck in that old habit of running around doing too many things, searching for something, and they don't know what it is they're searching for. They still don't quite understand that it's all in here, you know, but it's like it's too painful for them to slow down, you know, so, or stop, you know. It's just too, for them to completely stop, yeah, because they've got a harmonizing energy. You see, the divine beings, source consciousness, wants to heal this person, and they're searching for their healing, they're searching for something, but I don't think this person quite understands yet that what they're searching for is already in here, you know. And that took me years to understand. It's taken me 12 years, because I remember going to a Mind Body Spirit event when I was 30. I just had my daughter, so I might have been 31, and it was a Hay House event, and they were giving out bags, and one of the bags said on it, what you something like, what you seek is already within yourself. It was like that. And I remember reading that thinking, God, that's so spiritual, how beautiful. But I had no idea what it meant. And now I'm 40, well, I'm nearly 42. I'm going to be 42 next week, I think. And now I'm this age, I'm like, oh, I finally understand what they were trying to say. That everything you're trying to seek out there is within yourself. But it's such a hard thing for me. For me, it was really hard to learn. You know, it's taken me 12 years to finally get it. And, you know, it's taken 3 years of being on my own, the last 3 years, to really hone in and find that. But what I'm saying is your person, your twin flame, doesn't understand that yet. So they might be seeking out relationships with other people. They might be workaholics. They might go traveling. They might have ridiculous hobbies. They might have got themselves into another relationship. Whatever, they might be a drinker. They might have addictions. And it's just because they're trying to find healing in the external reality, and that's never going to happen. So it's quite hard to watch when we care about somebody so much. Now, what does this person think of you? Oh, King of Wands. Okay, look, they seriously do want the bond with you. They seriously do feel your energy. They want you. If it's a twin flame, the attraction's massive. You don't need me to tell you that. And the attraction never goes away, right? Now, if it's a family member or a friend, there's just a bond. There's just a bond. And with a King of Wands energy, like King of Wands wants to offer you something. Like this person will always try to offer you things to keep you interested. Now, what they offer may not be what you really want, and it may not be substantial. But what can I say? I mean, I can't even speak. They just, all I can say is that they think about you. There's no doubt about it with King of Wands energy. It's a masculine energy, and it's the kind of energy that says, you may not be in my life right now, but I certainly haven't really let you go. I will still pursue you when I want to. You know, like, we may not talk all the time, but as far as I'm concerned, you're still part of my life. And when I feel like I need to contact you, I will. It's that kind of energy. Yeah, I mean, look at this. I think they realise that they haven't given you enough in the past, and now they do think about giving you more. because Six of Pentacles is much more of a flow of energy. I think they would want things to be a bit more equal, rather than you giving all the time and them just receiving. The Two of Pentacles, they're kind of trying to weigh up, what do they do, what do they do? And they're thinking about it. And, you know, I think they're kind of a bit of a, they're trying to be very careful and almost too careful about how they proceed. And it's interesting that it's coming underneath the Two of Swords, where I said there's this fear-based energy that they've got. Whenever they think about you, as far as they're concerned, you are still part of their life. Okay, and you might want to slap me for saying that, because you might think, well, for God's sake, Kerry, they're in another relationship, or for God's sake, you know, they haven't even contacted me for a year or 2 years. But they do, they still think you're part of their life. In their head, that's how they see it. But they are fearful about how they proceed, and if they do proceed, it's got to be done very carefully as far as they can see it. You see, it's that these two cards are linked, they're falling together. So, you know, they're nervous about mucking up again. They're nervous about looking stupid or getting rejected by you, because they can obviously tell they're not stupid. They can tell you did pull your energy back and that you wanted to assert your boundaries, because that's what happened to us, isn't it? We got to a point with it where we were like, we did realise that we're divine beings and that we need to kind of have our own boundaries. And now it's like they kind of feel like they need to be very, very careful. Too careful, really, because what they're doing is they're thinking about things too much, if you ask me. They're too fear-based about it at the moment, and they're not really taking the bull by the horns. They're overthinking it too much. Look at that. This person is definitely overthinking things way too much. That's the anxiety, depression card. They would be so much better off if they could just reach out to you and just start having an interaction of some kind. But they literally are frozen with fear at times. I think this person even gets, if they do still contact you, they sort of get like a bit of a rush of anxiety. You know, when you get like a bit of like a cortisol release when you go to do something, like an adrenaline rush almost, but it's like anxious one. That's what they get when they think of actually seriously contacting you, because I think they're just so feeling that you're going to push them away and reject them. And it's frustrating. I think it's frustrating the hell out of them, because they want to, you know, this is someone with masculine energy. This is somebody that doesn't like to show vulnerability. It's somebody that's had a lot of shame in their past. So for them, it feels very risky to reach out, you know, and they think about it, and then they think, oh God, I don't know if it's worth it. You know, am I going to get the answer I want? You know, is this person going to welcome me with open arms, or are they going to put loads of boundaries up still, you know? And they're just thinking about it too much. Okay, so how they want to move forward. Right, what tarot is saying is that they will move forward. They are going to do something, because we've got here the Seven of Wands, and that is basically somebody who holds their ground. Okay, so they're going to hold their ground, which is quite frustrating, because it means they won't really open up, because obviously what we would like is for this person to show some vulnerability, to admit their wrongs, apologise, and, you know, just be more real and more connected with us. And then, you know, that would be like an open forum then for us to have some kind of communication, even if they're in another relationship, you know, and it could just be like a, you know, a really nice conversation or a meeting where you could just, you know, talk over things or what have you. Or if it's a family member or a friend, you know, certain things to be said, you know, maybe apologies, that kind of thing. But I think what's going to happen with your person is they're going to take action, but they're going to still hold the same line of approach, which is their pride. I'm sorry to say, you know, this person's got a lot of pride, and they don't plan on letting their guard down anytime soon. But they will stand their ground in terms of thinking they've still got you in their life. I mean, for me, what that means is that occasionally I get contact, but it's kind of superficial contact, and there's no sort of real depth there, and there's no hard and fast actions there either. Now, they've got the 10 of Cups reversed, so it's like they've got pain body coming up, okay? Because this is like a rush of pain body, and because it's a disruption. 10 of Cups, when it's reversed, represents disruption. For me, that's pain body. So they've sort of got pain body when they kind of want to approach you and contact you, and when they think about your relationship and the twists and turns, it brings up pain body in them, because what we represent to this person is kind of like a parental figure. And I know that sounds crazy, but we kind of are, because any close relationship, as you're in an adulthood, your egoic entity, which you could call the inner child, wants to replicate the love from parents that we probably didn't really get enough of. And so this person had a lot of shame, and we're the person that's probably been the closest to them out of anybody in their life. We went through a whole period of people pleasing them and trying to fix them and be understanding and helpful. And it kind of pains them now that we're not taking on that role anymore. And it activates pain body when they feel rejected by us. But they still have the same patterns, because unfortunately this person doesn't really do the work on themselves like what we do on ourselves. You know, they're not kind of watching YouTube and researching stuff like Eckhart Tolle or, you know, Muji or any of those gurus, or kind of like Esther Hicks, or, you know, there's so much like a wealth of information out there, isn't there, about raising your vibration and clearing out pain body, purging. You know, this person isn't doing any of that, so they still have a lot of pain body. So what I want to say to you is, they will still continue to see you as part of their life in August, but they are having pain body come up when they think about you, and they're trying to distract themselves with things so that they don't feel that uncomfortable energy come up, because I think this person knows they're quite blocked emotionally when it comes to relationships at the moment, and it's frustrating them. And I don't think they still keep going round and round in circles with it. They're still not making the connection, well, how can I get over this situation? They just keep doing the same things. Pain body comes up, old issues come up from their childhood. They feel that pain surge up, and then they just do things to distract themselves. Occasionally they might contact you, but that triggers them as well, because they don't really want to drop their guard and be brutally honest with you. Now, what's hidden that you don't see is the sun. Now, that's a new beginning, and it's also very immature. And I did say that we sort of have this parental role in this person's life. I know you might not see it like that. You might not see yourself as a parental role to them, but you are. Oh, look at that, the Chariot. Right, I wouldn't be surprised, okay, if there's two things here. There could be somebody else entering your life who wants to be part of your life, be very present, because this is very present energy here. Present, okay? So this is going to be, it's a collective reading. It's going to be different for everybody. Some of us, there's going to be somebody new coming into our lives. The Chariot, somebody coming in quickly. And they could be quite immature, but they're very good fun. Or this could be the twin flame, and they may well contact and actually want to meet you. Now, the advice from Spirit is proceed carefully. That is so funny. Page of Swords, that's the advice. Page of Swords is caution. Proceed with caution, be very, very careful. Because you need to really think about what you're doing. You need to think about, is this the best choice of action that you're going to take? What should you do? If they do contact you, you've got to think it through. You've got the Hangman as well. So, you know, you need to take wise action. Hangman in reversed kind of basically means, you know, really think about what you're doing. Make sure you make wise actions. Think. Don't do any knee-jerk reactions. If this person contacts you wanting to meet, take your time to reply. Take your time to really think it through. Don't just send a quick message straight away like you might have done in the past. really think it through. Also, if you're meeting somebody new, because this could be somebody new, again, think about it and decide, is that what you really want? And actually make sure you get to know that person very slowly so you don't get a repeat situation where, because, you know, some of us may have had the tendency to be addicted, you know, and get addicted to people. And we've got to be very careful that we don't get into that type of scenario again, because it's not good for us when we get addicted to somebody and then we lose ourselves in the process. So it's like Spirit is just saying, look, in August, whatever's going on for you, you must proceed with caution. Take things slowly, do your research. Don't feel you have to reply people really quickly to their demands. Okay. Yeah, and just really, really think, because there could be some kind of new chapter for you, and some sort of surprise, because something could even take you by surprise, because we've got the Sun, which is a new chapter. It is success, and we've got the Chariot, which is movement, very fast movement. So there could be something happening, okay, in August, really surprising, and it's something fun or exciting for sure. But think what you're doing, take it nice and slow, don't rush it, do your research. Okay, and then the outcome card is kind of feeling, God, I don't even like the outcome card. There's some kind of stuck energy here, believe it or not. I can't believe that would still be coming in. Yeah, do you know, I just feel like there's a letdown here, because look at that. Can you see the way there's this stagnant energy? I just feel this person is still very stuck. And even if they do come in all guns blazing, wanting to meet you, I feel it's going to be a repeat of what you've had before. Now, I know some of you will want to seriously slap me for saying this. It might not be what you want to hear, but I'm just telling you the truth. There's no signs here that this person's done any therapeutic work, any healing work on themselves. You must proceed with caution and be wise about how much you let this person back into your life, how much time and energy you give them, even in terms of how much you think about them. Because honestly, if they do come in, it could be very fast and it could be done in quite an immature way. And then you could be left feeling like, my God, they really haven't changed. And they're just the same, and it's going around in circles, you know. I think this person's got so much purging and healing to do on themselves, and I don't think they know how to do it. But quite honestly, it's not your job. It really is not your job to do it for them, and they need to get themselves to a point where they're so sick of going around in circles with their own emotions and their own problems, because they've been on repeat. You know it as well as I do. This person's had relationship issues all their life, and it just keeps repeating. And they've got to get to a point where they're so sick of it repeating that they can deal with their shame and actually go and get help for it, you know, and actually start either help themselves through, you know, like I've done the majority of my healing just by reading stuff from the gurus and watching it on YouTube, you know, and you can heal yourself. You're your own best healer, but they've got to actually want to do it. And I think that they're going to get to the end of August still feeling the same, with the same problems. That it's like they can't let go of their pride and overcome the hurdles and just be vulnerable and real. And they slip back into the false self, the ego. I think you're very wise now, and I actually don't think you'll take any unwise actions with this person, and I think you'll be very careful how you let them proceed with you. I don't think they're going to hurt you. I don't think they're going to do anything nasty, but I just think it's going to be, August is going to be a month where if you have contact with them, it would just be more of the same. That's all I feel from these cards. I do think there's a strong chance there could be somebody else coming into your life who's more fun, more present, more motivated, or there's an opportunity in August which is going to take your life forward in a very exciting way, and it's going to be a big new chapter for you, and actually that is going to be very joyful for you. And all right, this twin flame situation or this situation with this person hasn't really changed, but I sense that there could be some really amazing changes happening for us in August, either with somebody else or another area in our life where we've been really wanting to manifest something, and in August it's actually going to happen. So maybe we won't actually feel so fed up with our twin flame or this person, because we're actually moving forward, and we are being wise. But I think they might be feeling more like this, because I still don't think they're really ready to bite the bullet and do the work they need to do on themselves. So that's the message. I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for giving the video a thumbs up. If you'd like a more detailed reading for yourself, support, you know what I mean, just contact me. And I am sending you lots of peace across Gaia.